Hello, friends. Welcome to this second episode of Learning Curve, and I've called it as Obstinate Salesman. This is going to be an episode which is based on industrial selling. I mean, the selling of mostly the capital goods and things like that, like pumps, boilers, DG sets, engines, or compressors. I mean, those kind of capital goods I'm talking about, or machine tools, etc. So, this episode is based on an obstinate salesman, which was no one else than me. I am that obstinate salesman, and I'm going to tell you the anecdote or the story of how one of the finalizations or the order I spoilt, and it was how it was my failure. So let's start. So I'm talking about long back, 1989, 1990. I was selling chemical process pumps. I was in a company called Soldier Pumps. Some of the names of my bosses, etc., I would not take, I would avoid, but I would still give you the entire story. So those were the heady days in which the chemical process pumps sales was pretty high, and we in Sulzer were having a lot of inquiries, lot of orders which were coming thick and fast, and therefore we were in a good mood. In one of the incidences, I was in Bombay office when it happened. What had happened was my colleague and me were both senior sales engineers, parallel, and reporting to a sales manager of Bombay, and he was reporting to the director of sales. So uh, there was an inquiry from a Vizag based plant which was into polystyrene. Polystyrene means you can say something like thermocol packaging material. So they were into polystyrene. They had a plant in Visakhapatnam, Vizag, and they had the head office in Bombay. And if inquiry was for about 10 pumps, chemical process pumps. I had not quoted for it. I mean, I was not the sales engineer involved. My colleague, who was this other senior sales engineer by name Prakash, he was on leave and he had quoted for it. And he had already done one or two technical discussions with the customer, etc. And then this was the day on which I was in the office. He was on leave, and my boss was heading towards some finalization that time, and he was half out of the office when the telex came. Those were not the days where there were mobile phones. No way. I'm talking about 1989, 90. And those were not even the days where faxes were so easy. So telexes used to come, cut, and then that secretary of a managing director would have one telex, and she would come running when the telex comes. So she came to running to my boss and said, "I think there is some finalization for which you have to go." He said, "I'm already on the way out." So what he did was he stopped in the door, and he called me and he said, "You go." I said, "I have not made the offer, I don't know." He said, "You get the offer from the master file and take it and go." I said, "Okay, but what is it, and what is it that I have to do?" He said, "It's a finalization, so you know what to do." I said, "Okay, but what is the bottom line? How much can I go to?" He said, "How many pumps?" "I think 10 pumps." "Okay, yeah, not a big deal. Go and get the order. Give 10% discount." I said, "Only 10%?" I said, "Yeah, no more than 10%." And I said, "What else?" He said, "20% advance minimum." I mean, those were the kind of terms which we used to get those days, because those were the days when things were good. I went there, and he said, "Study the offer on the way in the train." So between Thane and Nariman Point, I studied the entire offer. I felt confident, not a problem. Let's go and see what can be done. So I went in. I was made to wait for an hour. There was a huge mela of other pump manufacturers also there, sitting in the reception, and everybody was avoiding everybody else's eye contact. Nobody was talking to each other, though all of us knew everybody else, but we did not want to give out any kind of secret, so we were mum. And after an hour, I was called in, and I was not prepared. Now here from starts the story of how things went bad. So when I stepped in, it was a huge kind of a conference room. The senior most guy, I was introduced to him as the president of the plant in Vizag, and he had come here to Bombay to finalize the pumps of and other equipments. He was introduced to me, and on his either side, left and right, there were three people, probably from somebody from sales, somebody from somebody from materials, somebody from maintenance, etc., etc. So seven people in the panel opposite me. I am the only guy, and please note, I was only a senior sales engineer in front of a president who looked like a tiger to me, and then he was trying to pounce on me. And then the thing started. He asked me, "What are you?" etc., etc. And then he made a comment. I think he wanted to run me down. He said, "You have come for a finalization of this order, and I think then you guys are not interested." I said, "Why, sir? Please, let's let's do this." Like that, I was trying to make up I was trying to hold my ground, etc. And then after a few minutes, he was not interested in technicals. He said, "Okay, that is okay, that is taken care of. You tell me what is the price." I said, "Sir, this, that, etc." I started normal. And he said, "You finally tell me what is the price. I don't have time. I have to go back to Isaac tomorrow morning. So tell me." So he literally pressurized me, and I said, "Okay, sir, 10% advance, and 10% discount and 20% advance." He said, "No, nothing." He almost threw me out. And before letting me out, he said, "Give me your boss's number, because I want to complain that our company is not getting the due attention, and therefore." I said, "Sir, but sir, this is the best, and I've been told to, I have been given the permission to finalize this, etc." He was not interested. He said, "Are you giving me boss's number or you're not?" I said, "Okay, so here it is." I gave out my boss's, the director sales's number, or residence number. I was not supposed to give, I gave. And then I was coming down in the lift, and I said, "Bloody hell, I have done some major gafla." So immediately I came down in the Narayan Point area, found out it coin box, those black coin boxes. No, you used to drop 1 rupee coin and make a call. Found out boss had reached home because it was already late, 7 o'clock or something. And then I called him. I said, "Sir, I have made a blunder." He said, "What?" I narrated the whole story, and I said, 10% discount, 20% advance. He is not agreeing, and he is definitely going to call you. He said, "How will I have my number?" I said, "I gave." That is the second blunder I have done. He said, "Okay, okay, now I know the mess you have created. Let me see what I can do." I did not come to know about all of this after 1 or 2 days. I was very nervous, but then I came to know our sales director had to flow to Vizag, because it appears that the sales director was called by that guy without any hesitation, and he said, "You sent a very junior engineer in front of me, and you have not given proper prices and proper bhav to us. You have not kept our stature, and therefore, if you want the order, tell me." Our boss said, "Of course we want the order, sir. What should I do?" He said, "Then you have to come to Isaac." So the boss said, "Okay." He went. He went, and you know what? What I came to know later on was, the boss had to kneel, go down on his knees to say that, "Okay, sir, whatever has happened, please forget this, that. I will take care of my sales engineer. I will teach him properly, etc. I will coach him, etc., etc. But please give me the order." So he got the order. He came out with the order, but the learning of this whole thing was, there are a few lot of learnings, because I will tell you what happened. Instead of 10% discount, he gave 20% discount, and instead of 20% advance, he accepted 10% advance. So 10-20 was made into 20-10. Now tell me, the learnings of this is, first, even if you have been given all the authority to go and finalize the order, especially in capital goods sales, never ever take the stance that you are the authority to take the final call. Always say, "Sir, I will come back to you." So I'm telling you this especially for those youngsters who are now in the range of 5 to 10 years experience and have started handling the inquiries and finalizations alone or with their junior team members. So always remember, you are never the boss. Whether you are a sales engineer or sales manager or director of sales or MD, even MD has a boss. Who is boss of MD? MD's boss is shareholders, because he has to finally go to the shareholders and tell them that I have made this profit or I have not made this profit. So even MD is not the boss. So there is always a boss on top of you. Don't ever take this stance that you are the boss and you are going to decide whether I should take the order or reject the order. Second thing, always try to find out, and this is the problem which in this order was created by us. We never found out how senior the man opposite to us was going to be. He was the president, and my company sent a senior sales engineer. Obviously उसका दिल तो दुखेगा, और उसने फिर वो पूरा उसका भड़स निकाल लिया मेरे डायरेक्टर पे. एंड वी हैड माई डायरेक्टर हैड टू गो. आई डोंट इवन नो हाउ मेनी फ्लाइट्स वर देयर बिटवीन बॉम्बे एंड वाइजैक दोस डेज. Maybe one flight a day or once in 2 days, and he had to stay in a 5-star hotel and all. So finally, what is the cost of getting that order? Second thing. Third thing is, so first thing is that don't think that you are the boss. Second thing is, always found out what is the hierarchy on the other side which is going to decide the order. Third thing is, even if you want to reject the order, don't say take it or leave it. That is the worst thing that you can say in your life. You can never say, sir, this is $100, take it or leave it. You say, sir, my final offering is $100, but sir, please give us the order. And he will still say no. And then you should say, okay, sir, next time we will put in a better effort. That is the third learning that you should do. Don't be rude with the customer, never. Fourth and most important learning is, even if you lose the order, don't lose a customer. It's okay to lose an order, but not to lose a customer. Please keep that engraved in your mind. Never lose the customer, never burn the bridges. Keep the relationship on. Because if it's like a machine tool, he will come back to you every 5 years for his new machine tools. And why you can't burn the bridges is because today he is a purchase manager. Tomorrow he may become the vice president purchase. Day after tomorrow he may become MD of some other company, and you will have to still deal with him in those three different organizations. So never burn the bridges. So that is the fourth lesson. First, don't ever say that you are the last authority. Second, please find out before going for finalization what is the hierarchy in their other side. Third thing is, never lose a customer. So these are 3 or 4 things which you must keep in mind for all industrial goods sales. So I keep on telling this because I have taken dozens of seminars on industrial goods selling and conquering industrial sales, negotiation skills, etc. And people ask me this. I keep on asking them their experiences, and don't be afraid of losing an order. See, just simple thing. No? If you have a 20% market share and you have made 100 or quotations, 80 you are going to lose. So why worry about that? But try to get 20 at the best possible margin, best possible prices. That is the essence of industrial selling. Keep that in mind. Thanks. Best luck.